It's another day, and Kanye on social media wilding yet again. And normally, I would be like, yeah, it's just him saying some stupid stuff as per usual. Waiting for the album to drop. You know what I mean? That's usually how I handle Kanye West in like his antics on the internet. I just try to ignore as much as I possibly can about the things that he's saying, while at the same time trying my best to enjoy the music that he's putting out, because we all know and acknowledge that he's still incredibly talented, okay? So I'm not here to debate what Kanye West can do as a producer, as an MC, as an artist. I'm not here to debate that. Recently, Billie Eilish had come under fire, and people had assumed that she had said something in reference to Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival. We all know how tragic that situation was. I don't feel the need to go over it yet again, but I was with Kanye. I thought that Billie Eilish said something incredibly unnecessary. Anyone with half a brain knows who she was likely referencing, and whether or not you feel that she had a right to say that or didn't have a right to say that, the end result matters more than the shade that she obviously threw at Travis Scott. While I do think it's odd of Billie Eilish to virtue signal in that way, the end result was another fan was well taken care of at a festival or at a show where things could have easily gone wrong. So yes, I still commend her for that, while finding her statement in general about the tragedy weird in itself. People can give her the scapegoat that, oh, I was just talking in general. It's not hard to read between the lines on this one, okay? And that's fair. But Kanye West took it 3 and 4 and 5 steps farther than just acknowledging the shade that she threw, and demanded an apology for him to perform at Coachella. This whole little mini paragraph can be summed up as, do what I tell you to do, or I'm going to try to affect business. This is coming from the man who is an advocate of free speech, telling someone that you can't say what you want to say. As idiotic as it is for you to request or demand an apology on behalf of someone else who was clearly a part of the problem that led to the tragedy that Billie was obviously referencing, I thought that the idiocy in the unrealistic expectation from others would potentially end at this. But knowing Kanye, I should have known that he would take it even a step further and write out the most childish, corny, ill-advised statement to Kid Cudi of all people, basically telling him that you can't sit at this table because you know him. And by him, he's referencing Pete Davidson. Cudi responds by saying, we talked weeks ago about this. You're whack for flipping the script and posting this lie just for a look on the internet. You ain't no friend. Bye. Now, if I was Cudi, I would have just said nothing, because Kanye even saying this makes him look genuinely like a middle schooler. If this is an indication of how things likely are with his ex-wife, in reference to how their children and custody and hostility amongst the two likely is, if how he deals with people outside of his immediate family isn't an indication of how he likely deals with people on the inside of it, I don't know what to tell you. This is ridiculously controlling, especially considering how you are now friends and buddy with fucking Drake, who was in a beef, in a back and forth with the now president of good music. You can be friends with Drake, someone who dissed your mans, but Cudi can't be friends with a fucking comedian? The issue that I have that's even bigger than his back and forth with basically anyone that he can choose out of a hat or get his hands on, like any random celebrity name that he can think of at this point, is subject to him dissing them via social media. It doesn't have to have a reason. It could be basically about anything. The bigger issue that I have is the way mental health in this is being portrayed, because it's being portrayed as every time Kanye West has a tantrum on social media, it's a mental health thing. It's because he's bipolar. It's because he's off his meds. I've seen some incredibly disrespectful posts from people that allow me insight into how they view people who have mental health issues, and them not separating people who are genuinely suffering from issues with mental health versus someone who is just having a control issue. The lack of ability to separate a person's diagnosis from their own personality, from them having flaws of their own, is honestly sick in this instance. I've seen so many people retort with and go back and minimize Kanye to his mental health diagnosis. And as someone who heavily disagrees with him, I don't feel like he deserves that. That wouldn't be such an easy argument to go to if he wasn't on record talking about how he refuses to take medication or follow medical professional advice. But every time this man does something that people criticize or doesn't like, does not mean he's having a mental health episode. He's behaving like shitty people behave when they do something shitty. They make it shittier. They make it smell worse. They take the back of your head and they force your nose in it and they rub this shit around until that's all you can breathe in. That's what this rollout for Donda 2 has been. That's what this rollout in general has been. It's been shitty. Pete Davidson, in response to all these things that Kanye West has been saying, has basically said nothing. So not only does that make Kanye look worse, it gets more people to be on his side, which is why I don't understand where the hate wave for Kim Kardashian came about in regards to their divorce. Because this whole time I'm hearing Kanye say all these things about what she is and who she is and what she's doing, and she's said nothing. Granted, I'm not going to act like Kanye West doesn't have rights to see his children, but when you behave like this, when you are as erratic as this, how do I feel safe with you being around kids, bro? I don't know what you are capable of. You're unironically dissing a dude in a song based solely off the fact that you ruined your relationship with your wife and now she's with him. That's it. That's the extent of your beef with dude. Finally, we can just say that this is a rollout. You know, Kanye knows what he's doing. Kanye is like taking this to the next level in terms of his level of insight and understanding of social media. He knows that when he wants to promote something, he knows when he's about to drop an album, it's beneficial for him to have the most drama around his name. He has 10 days to drop Donda 2. And he's capitalizing. He's going hard trying to make sure people are paying attention to him. His documentary is about to drop publicly very soon. His album is supposedly coming out in 10 days. My issue is he's not even allowing the music to speak for itself. I heard that new record that came out with Fabio and Alicia Keys, and I think Playboi Carti was on it. I'm not sure. I thought it was a less entertaining version of Off the Grid. Same song, but let's throw Alicia Keys on. What makes this rollout, if it is one, even worse is that Kanye doesn't look good. Yes, people are talking about him, but for all the wrong reasons. But what you not gonna do, what you not about to do is interrupt my nigga Cudi's flow. All right? This nigga is out somewhere humming gracefully, frolicking in dresses. He was quite possibly one of the best moments / additions to that Don Toliver Kid Cudi Kanye track off of Donda. I would believe that this was only for promo and only for marketing if that Big Shawn Drink Champs interview had never dropped. You 40 plus beefing with a 20-year-old girl for a comment that had nothing to do with you. Number one, a comedian who isn't even 30 telling niggas who aren't even involved, if you know him, if you fuck with him, you can't come in my studio, Nick. This studio is only for niggas with allegations. What would happen if Kid Cudi was like, you know what, Kanye, I can't be friends with someone who's friends with someone who's got assault allegations against them? This dude's a hypocrite. And even if it were just for an album rollout, why would you want this type of rollout attached to your mother's sequel album, like a sequel album that's basically a dedication to your mother? Why would you want this to be attached? It's just nasty, bro. I'm sorry. Didn't Drake also diss Cudi while he was in rehab? All right. I'm trying my absolute best to listen to the music, but when he is actually weaponizing his audience against people, I can't look away, because that's bullshit. You can't just say, oh, I'm talented, this is an MC, separate the artist from the art, when the artist in question is weaponizing the fan base that they've grown over 20 years against whoever looks at them the wrong way, essentially, says something that they don't like, does something that they don't like. They get this much backlash from it. It's fucked up, bro. People in general should just be over it. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. That's really all I got.